Good evening, friends. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good night. Just wherever you are in the world. Thanks for tuning in. This is the first episode of the Reacts series. I don't know how reactive I'm going to be, given that I'm quite stoic and professional in my nature. Well, let's see if you can figure out the clip we're going to be looking at today, based on some of these comments, because the comments are brilliant. When you realise Sherlock's speech is faster than your Wi-Fi connection. I love that one. Someone's commented, so who's your favourite rapper? Sherlock. I've never in my life seen a more realistic portrayal of a manic episode. I remember on a behind the scenes, Mark Gatiss said he put, Mark Gatiss, said he put sorry Benedict in the script before this part. Just handing it over going, I'm sorry. So we are in fact looking at Sherlock's deduction scenes in the pub. From the episode The Hound of the Baskervilles from season 2, episode 2. And I'll start that up in a moment. Just wait for everything to load that I need. You gonna start? Okay, let's do this. That's never a good sound. Boop.
Ben reacts to nothing.
Ben's computer breaks.
We all heard something. Maybe we should just look for whoever.
I don't even think Sherlock's in the room here.
I saw it too. What? I saw it too, John. Just a minute. You saw what? A hound. Out there in the hollow. A gigantic hound.
See, I love that moment when John, you see this man in front of you for so long, and John is starting to see sort of a peek behind the curtain that even he can be reached by things, which I think is a good moment. I also like the fact that it's never referred to as anything else other than a hound. That one word that won't leave him, which is, it's important towards the rest of the case later on. But there's an infamous quote from the stories: the emotional qualities are antagonistic to clear reasoning, which couldn't be more apparent here, in that Sherlock's emotions of him being scared, he has had his reasoning clouded in what he has seen and how he has been affected by that. So which is the precursor to the next little rant that's coming, forgetting the fact that he has been poisoned by the drugs as well, but it's affected him at his very core here, which for a deductionist is an important thing to note, because once you lose control of your emotions, you can miss very important pieces of information, which is why we train so hard to keep control in specific times.
Look, Sherlock, we have to be rational about this. Okay.
John grounding him.
Of all people, can't just. Let's just stick to what we know. Yes, stick to the facts.
See, it's it's almost an infamous pose of Sherlock's. This type of bridging nature. in body language terms, it goes up when you're not necessarily listening to somebody. It's a form of blocking behaviour. And you'll note that when every time John mentions stick to the facts, stick to what we know, you of all people shouldn't be thinking this, Sherlock is not listening. And it's a sign that works here, and it's a note towards Benedict Cumberbatch's fine performance, just these little nods in his language to show that he's really in there as well. So these go up when he's not even listening to John. Also, from a body language perspective, it's a contemptive form of intelligence. People do this when they feel they are of a superior standing to other people in there.
Once you rule out the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be true.
Amazing. Paraphrasing from the original, but it's spot on. Once you rule out the things that simply cannot have happened, whatever remains, however unlikely, must be the truth. Factual, pragmatic breakdown of logical approaches towards problem solving.
What does that mean?
Should put that on a t-shirt.
Look at me, I'm afraid, John. Afraid? Sherlock. I want to be able to keep myself distant.
Control, so you can see the truth of the situations.
Feelings.
You deduce based upon the information that's in front of you, because your feelings don't get in the way. That's one of the precursors. I got this tattooed on my hand because there's been a couple of times in my life where I've been able to be lied to because my emotions clouded my judgment of the matter. So this keeps me grounded even in those high pressure scenarios based upon all of these emotions and feelings that can cloud our judgment, because everyone, even Sherlock Holmes, is at risk of that, no matter how hard we train. So we even have to keep that at the forefront in everything we do.
It's on the lens, the fly in the ointment. Yeah, all right. Stop. Just take it easy. You've been pretty wired lately. You know you have. I think you've just gone out there and got yourself a bit worked up. Worked up. It was dark and scary. Me. There's nothing wrong with me.
They all know it's coming, the big explosion.
There is nothing wrong with me, do you understand?
Let him have it!
You want me to prove it yet? Looking for a dog, yes, got your dog, that's your brilliant theory. Yeah, good, excellent, yes, where do we start? How about them? The sentimental widow and her son, the unemployed fisherman. The answer's yes. Yes? She's got a West Highland Terrier called Whiskey, not exactly what we're looking for. Sherlock, for God's sake. Look at the jumper he's wearing, hardly worn. He's uncomfortable in it. Maybe it's because of the material, more likely the hideous pattern suggestions.
So before he gets into this, because I'm going to feel awful pausing it because I'm just as big a fanboy as everyone else, this could not be any more of an amazing demonstration of his observational skills, his memory, and his reflexes. Okay? Because what the reflex action here breaks down is the inductive route towards problem solving. Okay? He's taking the information that's there in front of him and breaking down the most likely scenarios. Okay? Like with the jumper itself. You go Christmas present over birthday present or any other type of present that one may get through the year. Look at the designs that are on it. It's deer. Okay? Only seen at Christmas time in a form of presents. The jumpers are synonymous with Christmas gifts. The ugly jumper is very often a Christmas present. Now more likely in this scenario to be his mum, not an aunt, based on the fact that he's wearing it in front of her. You know, the uncomfort that that's not even a word, the discomfort that he's feeling I would argue, is based on the fact that he's wearing it in not physical discomfort, because he's got a shirt on underneath, so the material wouldn't affect him on a feeling based level, on a physicality. So the discomfort, we all know when we've been wearing something that doesn't fit us particularly well, or we don't actually like the look of. Okay, it doesn't affect us physically, it doesn't feel horrible, but we feel less wearing it. Apparently so does my dog. My puppies, they are wandering around while we film this. Sit down. Cheers, buddy. It breaks down the actions of the dinner. Size comparisons. The more likely event being the starter and a small plate licking it clean, and the timing of how meals are brought out. He hasn't had anything for dessert. She has. Okay? He would have eaten as much as he wanted to if he was the one being treated, which points it in the direction of the mother pain. The ring on the necklace. Love that. And at the very end, the West Highland Terrier called Whiskey. How do you know it's called Whiskey? Because she was on the same train coming in. Here is a man who's deftly demonstrating that he is always paying attention. His skills don't switch off. Okay, he's taking in his surroundings, he's taking in information. Once you train your mind to become like a sponge, it's tough to forget things at times, which he accurately points out here.
It's a present for Christmas, so he wants into his mother's good books. Why? Almost certainly money. He's treating her to...
Why else would you want into somebody's good books who's in your family other than money? It's an inductive approach towards problem solving, because there are a couple of other things it could be. That is just the most likely.
I mean, with his own portion, and he's trying to economise on his own food. Well, maybe he's just not hungry. No, small plate, starter. He's practically licked it clean. She's nearly finished her pavlova. If she treated him, he'd had as much as he wanted. He's hungry, all right. Not well enough, you can tell that by the state of his cuffs and shoes. How do you know she's his mother?
I hate pausing it because it's amazing. I'm probably going to have to rewind it and do it again. But him not being well off by the state of his cuffs and shoes. That's one of those things whereby we are in a scenario here where somebody dresses up to go out. Okay, so they will have gone through their preening process in order to get out. You can see the mother in this scenario. She's got her hair done, makeup looks nice, she's eating very delicately to show off all of her jewellery that she's feeling very sentimental about, whereas the chap, yes, he's got his jumper on, but the cuffs from his shirt underneath are frayed and worn, so this will be one of a couple of nice shirts that he has going out. The state of his shoes show, only briefly, in it that they have been visibly cleaned, but there are still dots of dirt and muck and things on it. So we're trying to subtly indicate the fact that this chap doesn't have as highly a detailed sense of preening, which one would get from not being as well off, which would work into the foundations of him being after a bit of money, a bit of moolah.
Now that must have given him a Christmas present like that. One could be an aunt or an elder sister, but mother's more likely. Now he was a fisherman, scarring pattern on his hands, very distinctive fish hooks.
I'm pausing it again. I said I wouldn't, but the fish hooks, right? The fish hooks is are going to be one of those things that you will have to have stored away in your memory palace, because there are hundreds of different versions, which I would argue, based upon where they are in this world, the fisherman business would be high up on the list of commonalities for the locals, in the same way that you would expect living in the hearts of London, 90% of people walking through the town wearing suits are going to be high-flying businessmen working in offices. In that type of inductive approach, you're taking a commonality of the land in which you live and making it work for you based on the fact that you can see similar fishhook marks on the hands of this gentleman here. You will see that his skin is well worn, which one would only get from working outside. Now, working at sea, being a fisherman, you're never going to shift that smell of sea salt from the air. So to get close to him to smell it would be awkward in this scenario, because it's going to be in the air outside anyway. But with the memory palace deductions based upon the fishhooks patterns that are there, that's going to be information that he's going to have taken into account at some point of his training stage. In the same way, when he gets shot, he goes through a list of guns in his head, where he pulls Hound out from. Okay, this is the episode as well where we first get to go into the depths of his memory palace. So this is going to be information that is stored for use later on properly. You can also find out how to build one yourself in the hit book, The Monographs.
I don't know. I suggest he's been unemployed for some time. Not much industry in this part of the world, so he turned to his widowed mother for help. Widowed? Yes, obviously. She's got a man's wedding ring and a chain around her neck. Clearly, LA husbands are too big for her finger. She's well dressed, but her jewelry's cheap. She could afford better, but she's kept it sentimental. Now, the dog, tiny repairs all over her legs from leggings would get her too friendly. No hairs above the knees. It suggests she's a small dog, probably a terrier. In fact, it is a West Highland Terrier called Whiskey. How the hell do you know that, Sherlock? Because she was on the same train as us and I heard her calling its name, and that's not cheating. That's listening. I use my senses, John.
I love this moment because you can visibly see John going, oh shit, can open, worms everywhere. It's like having molten, crazy intelligence deduction just poured all over him, and he's like, oh, I poked the bear, which is amazing. But yeah, the breakdown of the ring as well. Yes, there are a few other reasons why she could be wearing a male's ring around her neck, right? Yes, it is visibly a male's ring. Yes, it would be visibly too big for her fingers. Okay, but the reason there are other reasons why it points in the direction of a deceased father figure or a deceased husband in this scenario. He would be there in this type of situation where the son is treating the parents towards, you know, indulging their wallets, and if she's as sentimental as what she is, yes, the son could have asked for just the mum to be there, but the mum would have brought the husband along with her because of that feeling of sentimentality, the need for the relationship.
Like some people. So you see, I am fine if I don't know anything better. So just leave me alone. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
The subtleties in John's language as well, which I like. You can even go, yeah, that is a way to clear your throat when you haven't been breathing for too long and your throat's dried up. So that he's literally just sat there, mouth wide open, not breathing because he's been stunned to his core.
Well, why would you listen to me? I'm just your friend. I don't have friends. No. Wonder why.
Bloody love that.
Hello, Sherlock fans. Please subscribe to the official YouTube channel. Lots of great Sherlock videos.
I have, Mr. Gatiss, I have already.
We know this
Let's
first.
just go back towards that a little bit so we can watch that at full
Dark
tilt.
and scary. Me. And scary. Me. There's nothing wrong with me.
Music starts to bubble. Collecting his thoughts.
Sherlock.
Bridges are up.
Sherlock.
There is nothing wrong with me, do you understand?
Oh,
You want me to prove it, yes? Looking for a dog, yes, got your dog, that's your brilliant theory. Yeah, good, excellent, yes, where should we start? How about them? The sentimental widow and her son, the other.
John's anger in the background as well. Furrowed eyebrows. It's a micro-expression characteristic of anger. Now the anger could be driven at the fact that he's about to show off again, which we know is a bone of contention between the two of them.
Like fisherman. The answer's yes.
Yes?
He's got a West Highland Terrier called Whiskey, not exactly what we're looking for.
Sherlock, for God's sake.
Look at the jumper he's wearing, hardly worn. Clearly he's uncomfortable in it. Maybe it's because of the material. More likely the hideous pattern suggests it's a present, probably Christmas. So he wants into his mother's good books. Why? Almost certainly money. He's treating her to a meal, but his own portion is small. That means he wants to impress her. He's trying to economize on his own food.
Well, maybe he's just not hungry.
No, small plate, starter. He's practically clean. She's nearly finished her pavlova. If she treated him, he'd have as much as he wanted. He's hungry, all right. No, well, love, you can tell that by his taking his cuffs and shoes. How do you know she's his mother? Who else would give him a Christmas present like that? Well, it could be an aunt or an older sister, but mother's more likely. Now, he was a fisherman. Scarring button on his hands, very distinctive fish hooks. They're all quite old now. I suggest he's been unemployed for some time. Not much industry in this part of the world, so he turned to his widowed mother for help. Widowed? Yes, obviously. She's got a man's wedding ring and a chain around her neck. Clearly, LA husbands are too big for her finger. She's well dressed, but her jewelry's cheap. She could afford better, but she's kept it sentimental. Now, the dog, tiny little hairs all over the leg from where it gets a bit too friendly. No hairs above the knees, suggesting it's a small dog, probably a terrier. In fact, it is a West Highland Terrier called Whiskey. How the hell do you know that, Sherlock? Because she was on the same train as us and I heard her calling its name, and that's not cheating. That's listening. I use my senses strong, like some people. So you see, I am fine if I don't know any better. So just leave me alone.
Yeah. Okay.
It's amazing. Best demonstration I've ever seen on film, media, TV, whatever you want to call it, of your memory, your reflexes, and your logical breakdown of issues, problems, information that you've seen, and how your emotions can cloud judgment. Perfect. Okay, so thank you for watching the first episode of the Reacts series. What we're going to do, the more we do this, we're going to be breaking down things, teaching elements of how to use these skills in the real world. We're going to be breaking down real videos, I mean, like of real life actions as well, and reading them. So if you like that, hit subscribe, drop in the comments what you want to see me read through next, and if you enjoyed it, awesome, let me know. If you didn't, I'm sorry I wasted your time.